So Apple, for instance, is bouncing off this trend line. It's continuously bounced off this trend line. It's come back into this area here. Now, my question is that trade valid? Is the entry there, the stop loss there? Now, ideally, we wanted to come back and touch this trend line. The question of, is it going to happen? And if it's going to happen, then brilliant. We move our entry down because we'd expect this to come down into here. So that's the ideal scenario. So that's what we're wanting to happen. So the question is that will that happen? Now, if that happens, then this trade is null and void. So remember, we're putting pending order, so we're not getting triggered in here till it makes a higher high. So the question is that going to pop to the upside here, or are we seeing more downside? And if we're seeing more downside, is this a trade? Is this a trade to be taken now? Or are you at a point where you're going, nope, this is not for me, stay away from it, I'm not looking at it. And it's very easy to see why this is a potential trade. It's just a matter of, are we too late in this trend, or has Apple got more upside? Now, if we look at the likes of Facebook, it's also similar. It's running nicely. Meta is running nicely. So again, we need some sort of pullback here. Meta has had 70 million users jump onto Thread. Now, obviously, at the minute, Thread doesn't have a revenue stream as of yet, but if that continues and people continue to jump over onto Threads, isn't it viable for them to start marketing and stuff on that as well, which is potential an extra 70 million that they can target clients? So is this now going to continue? Is this going to, are we going to see a pullback before that happens? Look, because we are getting quite close to our record highs. We have had this massive bull run. Now the question is this bull run going to continue in the second half of 2023, or are we actually going to see a slowdown? Microsoft, again, come back to here, or you could look at this, it already has a double bottom there. This already has a level at the bottom there, look, right there, a double bottom. Is this a potential buy at the moment? Is this the next movement to the upside? I wanted to come back down to this horizontal here. We are starting to get very, very close. It's sitting on this little horizontal here. Is this now a good trade? Now, and this is where a good trader earns his wins and losses in the likes of these areas where you've got a little bit of uncertainty, where you're not sure. Now, we've had a massive run here, a massive bullish run. And if you'd have taken these trades back here, you would have had made very, very nice money. The question is that are we in a position to actually take off here again? Now, Amazon still has a little bit of to come back, so I'd expect it to come back to here for me to be looking at this. Google. So Google had come back to that area, triggered it, and it's now about 70% down on this particular position. Now again, we can't guarantee that it's going to go down, and we can't ever guarantee that it's going to continue going. But we do have a double bottom on this. So the question is it going to bounce off that double bottom? And if it does, we're still in this trade because we left a little bit on the loss, so to allow us. Now, if this takes this low out, we actually have the next level is down here. It's down here, so we don't want to be in that trade. So if it takes out that low, brilliant. I'm happy to take the loss on the chin. But if it comes back down to there, that's where my next entry on this is, or down here. But that's the next one at that point. Netflix, we're up quite handsomely on Netflix at this present moment. You're up 1% on Netflix. To the high was 1.5%. So it's going to put that back at 3-1 up there. So Netflix has been running quite nicely. Came back in this area, gave us a really nice entry, and popped up. But after the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, the last 6 days, it hasn't gone anywhere. It has moved sideways. So we may get some sort of a little sell-off on this, but if the market takes off to the upside beforehand, That means that we're profitable. The idea here is potentially move your stop loss underneath this red bar. So underneath this red bar, which means then you're banking in some profit. It means you cannot lose. Tesla, we're in a similar position with Tesla. Tesla had a massive pop to the upside. It didn't quite hit the 1-to-1, but we're going to put it back up to the 3-to-1 because you never know what happens with Tesla. But Tesla didn't have earnings reports as of yet, but it had good numbers that came out beforehand. The numbers of the units that were actually being sold and went out to customers was up, which is really good news for earnings. So the idea here is that the market gaps up on the back of that and looks quite bullish. Question is that do you think the earnings will be good? And the earnings are on the 19th, so they're in 8 more days. So the question is, if you think the earnings are going to be good, hold on to this. If you're a little bit unsure about the earnings, you potentially jump out with a little profit or move your stop loss inside break even. And if the market agrees with you, then this will run to the upside and you won't have been triggered out. Lululemon, look, we were looking, this is a short of this level. If you took a short off there, well done, good trade. There was two options, break and retest or a short up here, and it actually took a short off it. McDonald's, super infuriating. Got triggered out here for the sake of 20p. 20p. Anyone who has been on any of my webinars and all, you know I've been massively frustrated with that. And took this trade here, left a big gap in the bottom, and we still got triggered out, which is massively frustrating. Nvidia, Nvidia here at the moment is sitting at break even. Also, this is massively overextended. It is hugely overextended. Is it a high probability trade? No, it's not. But as you can see, we left a little bit on the bottom here to make sure if it comes down to this double bottom here, we're not going to be triggered out. And if it breaks this low and fills this gap, then we want to be out of the trade anyway. But anyone that took that there, you are at break even. Again, is it a high probability trade? No, it's not. It's not one of those high probability trades that I want to be taking. And sort of the last one that I sort of wanted to look at was BYD, so Byte Gaming Corp. So this was one from one of my clients, one of my students. Again, this one, we actually took this one massively late, so we're actually 2 days too late on this one. And it hasn't hit our 1-to-1 yet, so we're still have sat through all this. And it's up around here. So it's at that triple top. So the question is that is it going to break that triple top or is it going to come back down again? Uh, you have two options. You take your profit now and jump out of it, or if you believe believe it'll actually get closer to this horizontal level, then you hold this trade open. Now you could have got in here a second time and went up, came the hold back down, and then went up again. If you jumped in a second time, you are 1.81% up. So I would sort of recommend closing some of that there or moving the stop loss inside break even, which means that you physically can't lose on the second trade. So depending on where you got in, this one or this one, or then again you could have got in on the third one here as well. It's whichever you have done. Okay, everyone, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Hope you have a lovely evening, and I will speak to you all on Wednesday. Thank you. Bye bye.